Good morning and welcome to the first edition of Pre-CBD Q&A. So this is a chance for you to ask the questions that you have about about CBD, about hemp, and to shoot those to me in a direct message. And each week I will pick one question, or in this week's case, two questions that I will answer in a video format. But the best part is that if you send in a question, even if your question doesn't get addressed this week, it will be on our list, and you will be on the list as well to receive a free bottle of Pre in a drawing at the end of the month. So I got in a lot of really good questions this week, and I'm going to dive right in and answer a couple of them. So one of the first questions I received was, how do you know how much to take and how do you take it? So great question. That one came from Morgan through Instagram. So Morgan, let me tell you a little bit about how we apply Pre and then how do we know how much to take. So Pre is considered a tincture. So what that means is that it is CBD that's mixed in a carrier oil, and you're going to be applying this under your tongue. So inside this little bottle is a dropper, okay? And you're going to place the liquid portion under your tongue, and then you're going to hold it there for at least 1 minute before you swallow it. So that's how we take Pre. We take it underneath the tongue, sublingually would be the term for that, because that is a place where it's going to absorb quickly into your body. Now, in addition to taking it under your tongue, I have lately been experimenting with a couple other ways to use Pre, and that is actually topically. So the way I've used it is on myself and on my kids, because, at my age, I should not be getting pimples anymore, right? But maybe some of the other ladies out there can relate. Once in a while, I will start to get a red, hard bump. So the last time that happened, I thought, you know what? I know Pre can help with inflammation. So I'm just going to dot a little bit of my Pre on my pimple. And you know what I noticed? I noticed that within the next day or two that it really regressed, that inflammation really just went down. I also applied some on my little guys where they had some skin irritations and little bumps. And I noticed the same thing on those little bumps that they had on their skin too, where it really helped to kind of calm down a little bit of a rash that they were having and some inflammation in that way too. So that's been just kind of a little experiment I've been doing on the side. But the main purpose of Pre, of this tincture, is to apply it under your tongue. So how do you know how much to take? Well, so this can be a little bit of a moving target because everybody's body is a little bit different. Everybody's body chemistry is a little bit different, and everyone is going to react to Pre a little bit differently. But to get started out, what I would recommend is taking 20 to 40 milligrams of Pre each day for about a week or two and just gauge how you're feeling. Okay, so what does 20 to 40 milligrams look like? So this bottle of Pre contains 1,200 milligrams total of CBD in this bottle. So that means that in a half dropper serving, which is half of a milliliter, that there are going to be 20 milligrams of CBD. Okay, so if you want to start out by taking 20 to 40 milligrams per day, you're going to be taking either a half dropper for 20 milligrams, if you want to take a total of 40 through the day, or you can start out taking a quarter dropper twice a day, and that's going to give you a total of 20 milligrams. So you can take that in one of two ways. One method would be to take that dose in the morning and in the evening, and to kind of gauge how you feel. Now, if you find that you're feeling tired during the day when you don't want to be tired, that's a signal that you've taken a little bit more than what your body really wants, or what your body can handle at that time. So you can back down that dosage a little bit. Another way to take Pre is to take smaller amounts throughout the day. I personally have found this to be a very successful method for me by taking about a quarter of that little dropper roughly every about 4 or 5 hours throughout the day. So it just kind of builds this nice kind of, effect through my system that lasts all day long and through the night of calming to help relieve stress and anxiety, and also helping me with bedtime sleep as well. So it's a little bit of a moving target as far as the perfect amount of Pre to achieve the effects that you're looking for, but that's why you really need to tune in to not only what you're hoping Pre is going to accomplish for you, whether it's helping you find peace, rest, or relief, and just really monitor the results that you're getting and tweak a little bit along the way to get to those results. So that might mean taking a little bit more pre if you're not feeling those effects after a couple of weeks. Or if you are feeling those effects really strongly, you may be able to actually back down your dose just a little bit as pre is starting to build up in your system. You just might not need quite as much every day to get that same effect. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a guide on how to apply pre and also how to know if you've taken the right amount. And the second question that came in that goes hand in hand with that is a question about how long will this 30 milliliter bottle last? Well, a 30 milliliter bottle that has 1,200 milligrams of CBD in the bottle means that every milliliter is going to have 40 milligrams of CBD. So based on what you've determined to be the right amount for you, if you're taking a full 40 milligrams every single day, then this bottle is going to last you roughly 30 days. If you're finding that, for example, that 20 milligrams of CBD, which would be this half dropper serving size, is really helping you achieve your goals, then that means that this bottle is going to last you about 60 days. So hopefully these answers clear up the questions that you have about pre and about CBD, and keep them coming because next week we'll have another edition of pre-CBD Q&A and I'll answer your questions then. So keep shooting them in on direct message through Instagram and Facebook, and we will see you next week.